Law enforcement in America. Welcome to Law and Society. Please subscribe. I want to talk to you about the distinction between DHS agents and law enforcement officers. DHS has many departments. It includes federal immigration law enforcement and border patrol agents, which I'll call federal immigration agents from here on. These federal immigration agents aren't law enforcement officers. They are federal immigration agents. There's a difference. When we say law enforcement officer, we mean local, state, and federal officers who enforce local, state, and federal criminal laws. Federal immigration agents do not have the power to enforce local, state, or federal criminal laws. They only have the power to enforce federal immigration law. Federal law enforcement officers like the FBI and U.S. Marshals enforce federal criminal law, and their jurisdiction is limited to the enforcement of federal law. They cannot enforce local and state laws, nor do they have the power to interfere in state and local criminal matters that do not conflict with or involve federal laws. As a general matter, when we say law enforcement, we mean police officers who are city, county, or state police officers who enforce everything from traffic laws to murder statutes and everything in between. State and local officers have the broadest jurisdiction over the daily lives of Americans. Federal immigration agents have the narrowest jurisdiction to enforce federal immigration law, which means unless you are an undocumented immigrant, federal immigration agents have no power to stop you, arrest you, detain you, disappear you, let alone kill you. But that's exactly what they're doing. They don't have the authority to make traffic stops. They don't have the authority to stop, detain, and arrest you for anything other than detain you for violating immigration laws. When that happens in public, federal immigration agents need reasonable suspicion, which means they need specific, articulable, and particularized facts to support a short detention, no more than 20 minutes, to verify immigration status of somebody who federal agents have reasonable suspicion to believe is in violation of federal immigration law. That standard does not apply when it comes to somebody within a dwelling place or a house, home. The less stringent standard of reasonable suspicion that federal immigration agents use to pursue those who have violated immigration law does not allow these agents to break into people's homes. They can only enter a home if they have consent from those present or a judicial warrant showing probable cause that somebody in that dwelling place is violating immigration law. Federal immigration agents have to ask a judge to issue a warrant based on information federal immigration agents have about alleged undocumented immigrant being in that specific house. There's really no other constitutional way around it. In practice, it would probably be just a formality because judges would quite likely readily provide those warrants upon presentment of sufficient information that immigration agents should already have from their pursuit of those who violate immigration law. As opposed to going around rounding up people and then finding a law, they need to first have the reasonable suspicion that these people are violating immigration law before they can go and detain them and disappear them. When enforcing these warrants, courts may require local law enforcement assistance of federal agents. But instead of doing that, federal immigration agents are patrolling city streets, racially profiling, breaking into homes without warrants, pepper spraying protesters who have not been physically obstructive, and murdering protesters who don't do exactly what they're told. These actions are illegal and criminal. Call 311 to find out what your local police department's policy is in enforcing immigration law. If they are assisting federal immigration agents, they should accompany federal agents during arrests and enforcement of judicial warrants. If they are not assisting federal agents, call 911 if you are under immediate threat of federal agents illegally trying to arrest, detain, and disappear you. When federal immigration agents knock on your doors and ask to enter your home, do not let them in without a judicial warrant signed by a judge, whether local, state, or federal. Be plain, polite, and calm with federal immigration agents and let them know they don't have the power to do what they're trying to do. If you are a citizen or legal resident of the United States, carry your IDs with you at all times. Many of these federal agents are withholding IDs. Let them know very clearly that by taking and keeping your state and federally issued IDs, they are breaking the law. Call 911 and let your local law enforcement know that federal immigration agents have illegally taken your IDs and are not returning it. When you follow their instructions and provide the information they seek, and federal agents still violate and violently pursue you, harass you, arrest you, or detain you, your case to lodge a local police complaint is strongest. Those IDs are licenses that states and federal government provides for us to carry. We are not legally authorized to give our IDs away to others. That's the law, and most federal and state IDs say so. These times will be high stress in the near future, but that doesn't mean you should let it stress you out. Have your IDs on you, know your rights, don't get in the way of federal law enforcement, but loudly exercise your right to peacefully protest in public places. Respect police lines and don't clash with local and state officers who are trying to keep the peace between protesters and federal immigration agents. Record everything and remain vigilant if you're going out to protest. Thank you for listening. Be safe, and I will talk to you soon.